Hello everyone, welcome to Tzu Chi This week. I'm Duncan DeAeth. It's a pleasure to have you with us. In Hong Kong, TIMA celebrates the opening of a new chapter this week with a foundation ceremony. A photographer specializing in recording disaster relief efforts makes a visit to Malaysia with university students from Tzu Chi. At volunteer training events in Guatemala and China, we'll see how the Tzu Chi spirit is being cultivated across the globe. Tzu Chi volunteers in Hong Kong held their first medical clinic in 2008. Since then, the Hong Kong chapter has hosted 35 clinic events. After years of progress, on August 20th, an official Hong Kong TIMA chapter was formally established. Everyone is looking forward to see how TIMA's positive influence will grow in Hong Kong. Back in 2008, Hong Kong Tzu Chi volunteers organized the first medical clinic in Hong Kong's Tin Shui Wai. It was the beginning of a process that would lead to the establishment of a TIMA chapter in Hong Kong.
Today, we formally announce the establishment of the Hong Kong chapter of Tzu Chi International Medical Association.
Besides the Tzu Chi Foundation's Department of Charity Mission Development Director, medical professionals from Hong Kong and Macau have all joined together to give their blessings to the TIMA chapter's foundation. Gao Yongwon expressed his happiness being able to witness the event.
喺香港嚟講咧，我哋好開心咧，見到。
I'm so happy to see so many caring doctors and medical professionals here in Hong Kong. After more than 30 medical clinic events and gradual cooperation with Tzu Chi, we have finally reached this point of establishing a regular medical force.
The superintendent of Tai Po Hospital, Wen Zhixian, will never forget the first time he saw the love of Tzu Chi in action.
I never thought we'd get the response and support we have. Of course, one person's abilities are never enough. It's only thanks to the love and dedication of the Tzu Chi family that this is possible.
One of the TIMA doctors is Chen Jiazhen, whose ancestors have been doctors of Chinese medicine for 6 generations. His entire family was in attendance, and his grandmother was especially proud.
为什么我很高兴我这个孙来这个世界 各全部的，
他说持戒全部都是好人，
好人哈，都是很温柔的。
Now that the TIMA chapter in Hong Kong is officially established, not only does Hong Kong have a force of good safeguarding the city, but Tzu Chi's global mission of providing care to the world also takes another step forward. In Thailand, August 12th marks the birthday of the Queen of Thailand as well as Mother's Day. The Chiang Mai Tzu Chi School recently held a gratitude event to celebrate Mother's Day. At the event, students learned about the difficulty of pregnancy and remembered the endless devotion of their mothers.
Every student carries an object in front of them. Whether it's a balloon or a book, they have to carefully carry it to experience the difficulty of pregnancy. Also, they need to help their mother wash socks to experience their mother's endless devotion. These mothers share with students the difficulty of childbirth and caring for children, allowing them to realize that their mother always gives them endless love. August 12th marks the birthday of the Queen of Thailand, which is also Mother's Day. Tzu Chi Chiang Mai School hosted a 2-day event and invited local mothers to join. A mother from the Aka Hill tribe was also invited to join. Her daughter was choked with emotion when translating for her mother.
My mother says she needs to work hard to make money for her children's tuition. She hopes that everyone can encourage her so that she will have more power to fulfill her children's dream of education.
As a teacher and a parent herself, this woman feels deeply concerned for children's education.
Because I have a child who also goes to this school, I think I should feel for others. That is, treat these students as my own children.
It's really not easy for my mother to deliver me through cesarean section. I know she felt pain then, so I promised to be a good child and not disappoint her.
All the students express their gratitude on this special day. Experiencing their mother's endless love allows every child to feel blessed and fortunate.
A veteran Tzu Chi media volunteer, Zhang Yichuan, who is an accomplished photographer of disaster relief work across the world, recently traveled to Malaysia with a team of Tzu Chi University of Science and Technology students to share his experience of photographing relief work. He also used this opportunity to encourage local volunteers to continue the mission of helping others.
At that time, I was interested in video recording, so I started to learn how to operate a camera.
Zhang Yichuan shares with the attendees his experience as a photographer on relief missions. He seizes every chance to exchange ideas with local volunteers at the Jinshi Hall in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
I feel most shocked by his learning experiences. I learned from him that everything grows out of nothing. I believe that I can learn different things through photography or by attending Tzu Chi activities.
Vowing to record everything for Tzu Chi, Zhang Yichuan always works behind the scenes in almost every activity. His hardworking spirit has inspired many Tzu Chi media volunteers to bravely take responsibility in their mission.
Brother's experiences are quite similar to mine, as I am also poor at English and computer skills. After learning that he was able to overcome difficulties all the way through despite the fact that he is poor at English and computer skills, I think I have to trust in myself in being able to complete my mission through recording these scenes.
As videos and photographs can be a testimony for Tzu Chi's work, local volunteers are encouraged to continue their mission by recording and photographing activities long after this event is over.
To promote the 7th lunar month as an auspicious time, Tzu Chi volunteers from Songshan, Taipei hosted a blessing ceremony at the Taipei Municipal Zhonglun High School to promote vegetarianism and environmental awareness. Also, a couple from Xindian New Taipei organized their community's first blessing ceremony to convey positive messages to residents and dispel superstitious practices, like burning joss paper and offering animal sacrifices.
Tzu Chi volunteers Gao Bichang and Zhou Shihua host a blessing ceremony in their community for the first time. Originally, they were worried that not many people would show up. Surprisingly, it was a full house.
Master Duncan says we should never hesitate to do what is right, so we plucked up our courage to organize this event. I'd like to thank everyone for your support. I think I will have more courage to host such events in the future.
We told the people we knew what we were planning to do. My cousin knew we were going to host an event and came early this morning and asked if we needed help moving tables and chairs and such.
For many years, the couple have established a recycling point at their home, establishing a close relationship with their neighbors. This time, an accordionist from a band was also invited to encourage residents not to offer animal sacrifices or burn joss paper during the 7th lunar month.
I feel such warmth here. I feel very loved. I feel quite different when playing this song at this event.
Also, Tzu Chi volunteers from Songshan, Taipei hosted a blessing ceremony at Taipei Municipal Zhongrun High School, promoting vegetarianism and environmental awareness through dramas themed Yamaraja judges' cases and line dance performances. The true spirit of Pudu was also conveyed to the public.
Promoting vegetarianism and environmental awareness through short skits leaves a deeper impression in the hearts of attendees. Also, everyone will agree more to our ideas and be willing to put them into action in their lives if we present the drama in an interesting way.
Members from the community line dance club also join in to inspire residents to go meat-free.
We promote vegetarianism to members of our line dance association. Since there are more than 1,000 members, we hope each member may spread this idea to more people.
With this positive concept, people will be inspired to carry out the ideas of vegetarianism and environmental protection in their daily lives.
For the 7th lunar month, Tzu Chi Shuanghe Liaison Office in New Taipei City hosted a creative vegetarian fair where a variety of meatless meals were served. These nutritious dishes surprised many residents. Community eateries and restaurants also joined the event. Here's more.
Tzu Chi This Liaison Office hosts a creative vegetarian fair to promote the benefits of a vegetarian diet. Besides simply offering various dishes, Tzu Chi volunteers also chose only natural ingredients to prepare the food.
Many people think there is only a limited choice of vegetables when eating a vegetarian food. So we are trying to offer a wide variety of dishes.
In response to the vegetarian campaign hosted by Tzu Chi This Liaison Office, several community restaurants provide their main dishes for the residents.
As soon as I heard the news, I decided to join in and support this event because I think global warming is getting worse. I think everyone should be encouraged to embrace vegetarianism.
Every Monday, we provide 2 vegetarian meals for the customers to ease the burden on their stomachs and intestines. We hope to make everyone healthier after eating vegetarian food.
When this nurse did health checkup and cancer screening for adults, she found that 1/4 of the patients have the issues of hypoglycemia, hypolipidemia, and hypertension.
Compared to meat food, I found that vegetarian food contains nutrition in higher portions. In fact, choosing appropriate food is an important factor for reducing the risk of the 3 hypers.
Tzu Chi volunteers promote the benefits of vegetarianism through different activities, hoping that everyone can stay healthy and safeguard Mother Earth by changing their living habits.
For the past decade, volunteers in Guangdong have been aiding poor and disadvantaged students in Guizhou. Recently, a doctor and 2 volunteers from Guizhou attended a training seminar and made some visitations in Dongguan. They hope the experience will help them teach future volunteers. We'll also join a training seminar in Guatemala to see how volunteers learn about Tzu Chi's etiquette and the spirit of great love.
Saludo uno. Saludo dos. Saludo tres. No jugar o especular.
Participants are given the opportunity to learn about and experience the beauty of Tzu Chi's etiquette.
1. 左手中指轻轻抵住筷子尖端，右手中指提起筷子。
Through the Master's Dharma lecture, participants of a volunteer training seminar in Guatemala learn about the spirit of giving. Besides helping those in need, Tzu Chi volunteers also cherish the earth and her resources. Volunteers remind these volunteers in training to reduce waste and recycle, as well as pray for others, so to progress towards a more harmonious and peaceful society. After a 4.5-hour drive, a group of Tzu Chi volunteers from Guizhou finally arrive in Dongguan and immediately set out to conduct home visitations. Through actual visitations and learning of each case recipient's situation, some volunteers were moved by the experience.
你看袁先生，看看他们都是贵州来的嘞，是不是？我们是从贵州那边过来，坐高铁过来，来看看你。
Mr. Yuan was left paralyzed from the waist down following a car accident, and his wife has since remained by his side, taking meticulous care of him. Volunteer and Dr. Sun Xuan had some suggestions for Mr. Yuan.
这样会疼吗？这样不会吧？
他很开心。
这样慢慢锻炼一下，这样锻炼一下，恢复一下会很好，好不好？
Mrs. Liang was also held in admiration of the volunteers for looking after her son for the past 21 years.
There is no greater love in the world than a mother's love for her children.
When we walk into these families' lives, I don't see that we are helping them. Instead, they've helped me by changing my character and my life.
Tzu Chi volunteers from Guangdong regularly visit Guizhou to visit the poor and disadvantaged students with local volunteers.
Once we return to Guiyang, we hope we can seek out the people in need of care and love, just like you brothers and sisters have done here. Even if it's just one or two people in the beginning, we can gradually progress.
Putting compassion into action, volunteers from Guizhou aspire to follow in their peers' footsteps to spread love in the province.
For Tzu Chi's campaign for the 7th lunar month, volunteers have been working hard across the globe to encourage right thinking and right action to dispel superstition. The campaign has encouraged vegetarianism and environmental awareness, while asking people not to participate in the joss-burning paper and meat sacrifices associated with traditional Pudu rituals. Let's visit some blessing ceremonies in North America and Taiwan. In Vancouver, Canada, 38 Tzu Chi volunteers participated in a Sutra of Innumerable Meanings sign language adaptation performance to teach the Dharma as a way to encourage right thinking and action at this blessing ceremony for the 7th lunar month.
The sign language performances are a unique aspect of Tzu Chi culture. It's a language of consolation. We first use our hands to show the Dharma, and then use our mouths to spread the Dharma. This way, everything is embedded in our heart. Then afterwards, when we speak, it will be sincere.
Sharing a video of Master Zheng Yan's teachings with everyone, volunteers are encouraging them to practice right action and abstain from Pudu folk rituals.
At the old folks' home, we would see all kinds of problems like dementia and other disabilities. But one happy grandmother was over 80 years old and still healthy enough to go to the old folks' home to volunteer helping others. That is definitely a kind of blessing.
Volunteers across the globe, like those in Seattle, Washington, are holding blessing ceremonies and banquets, hoping to encourage people to adopt a vegetarian diet and educating people about the harmful effects of so much meat consumption.
You can use fresh vegetables to wrap the rice, or you can add them to the instant rice as you cook it to add a bit of flavor.
I never really thought about all the beneficial aspects of a vegetarian diet. Most people never realize the impact eating meat has, and we can really stay healthy just by eating vegetarian food. I want to thank all the volunteers for their hospitality and the delicious food.
At Tzu Chi Jingsi halls and liaison offices across the world, volunteers are encouraging vegetarianism and environmental awareness, especially in Taiwan. In Taoyuan, Taiwan, volunteers hold a blessing ceremony during the 7th lunar month. They encourage the community members to be vegetarian by offering a delicious vegetarian meal.
Vegetarianism is most importantly about being mindful.
It's a good idea, taking these positive perspectives and implementing them in our regular lives.
Being a vegetarian is a method of protecting the earth. We raise so many animals and kill them just to serve mankind's insatiable appetite. To be able to raise so many animals, people have to clear-cut forests and use lots of resources to provide for the meat. This is devastating to the natural environment.
In Taipei's Wanhua, local volunteers have been encouraging right action and recommending others to stop old rituals that are harmful to the environment, suggesting instead to replace joss paper with sincere prayer.
For the 7th lunar month, I don't want to burn joss paper out of my love for the earth.
The less we burn joss paper, the better it is for the air. It reduces a lot of air pollution.
Tzu Chi encourages everyone to show love for the earth and respect all life, and to avoid practices like Pudu if they pollute our natural environment. In Durban, South Africa, Tzu Chi volunteers hosted a training camp with volunteers from Port Elizabeth, King Williamstown, Chumbu, and Swaziland. In addition to indoor lectures, they also traveled to remote areas to bring love to care recipients. However, the journey was made difficult after torrential rains damaged roads.
As this area was ravaged by torrential rain a few days ago, hillsides as well as roads becoming bumpy and dangerous to cross for the volunteers. Young volunteers are carefully leading senior volunteers to wade across the streams to bring rice and love to the homes of care recipients. They are singing to ease their minds as they travel to the village. The focus of this volunteer training camp in South Africa is to visit care recipients in remote areas. These volunteers have learned many things from serving the less fortunate. On the last day of the program, their notebooks are full of their impressions from this experience.
Don't drink alcohol. Don't smoke.
10 precept.
Yes.
10 precept. Tzu Chi 10 precept.
Yes.
They not only listen to the lecture, but also ask some questions, such as why people need to embrace vegetarianism.
To eat somebody's children.
They are discussing issues related to the discipline of being a Tzu Chi volunteer.
We always say we Bodhisattvas. Everyone's a Bodhisattva. What is a Bodhisattva?
In addition to the volunteers from Port Elizabeth, King Williamstown, and Kambu, volunteers from Swaziland also participate in this event. They feel deeply concerned for the needy as they have just completed their winter aid distribution.
When we reach the place, we used to educate the people to the communities. That's it. We don't have food anywhere, but we've got love.
After attending the training camp for several times, local volunteers have learned more about how to carry out good deeds in Africa, as well as spread love to the people there.
Tzu Chi volunteers recently held a volunteer training session in Medan, Indonesia. The theme of the session was Giving with Sincerity. Volunteers hoped these trainees would learn about self-cultivation by listening to the Dharma.
People orderly line up and walk into the venue. This is the second training class in Tzu Chi Medan branch this year. 83 trainees from Aceh, Kuala Simpah, and other places came together.
We hope the trainees can give sincerely and take time to help and serve the public.
Training volunteers Rimba Kosashi listens to Master Zhenyan's talk every day, helping him find positive goals in life.
I listen to the Master's talk, and it's a good thing, as it can help us not to walk on the wrong path. With the Dharma, we must walk on the right path.
The class plays a video about disharmony in a family. It makes Rose Mawati remember her father-in-law, who has passed away, and the love he shared before he died.
I remember my father-in-law who has passed away. He was like the character in the video. He was stubborn, but had a soft heart, and he loved us.
The lesson teaches the trainees to spend more time with their parents before it is too late, or that they will face regret. It inspires them to do it.
In Taiwan, Tzu Chi recently hosted a 3-day event inviting 648 entrepreneurs from around the world, and they made a visit to DaEith TV to learn about the station's positive influence in media. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.